Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and to all our viewers. Welcome to this colossal arena, Teramoto Park. Brampton Raiders going against Patiala Shahi cricket. To the viewers who've joined us, we're up and away with action already. Team Patiala Shahi has won the toss and they've elected to bowl. They're playing on a new surface here. It's all covered with grass. That ends the over. 1 over done. The score is 5 without any loss of wickets. Conditions are windy. It's sunny out there. A perfect day for evening cricket game. Soon the floodlights will be on. It will be fun to play under lights. A whole complete new unit for Patiala Shahi. Couple of players on the tour for the Ottawa Cup. This is where things were started for Patiala Shahi with their embarking for win against UZ Marcor. Was an extensive win for Patiala Shahi, where the batsmen displayed their acumen, bowlers showing what they are capable of. Sheel Patel, the new bowler. We've got on strike Gurpal Sidhu and Ranbir Singh. A complete new surface. We'll have to play how the surface will respond to the bowlers. Has gone down the track. Full swing of his blade. Could not get the timing correctly, but still will get 2 runs. Harsh Thakur stepping up as the interim captain. There's no Jannat. No Ali Nadeem bringing forward, asking the batsman. It's really difficult what Shield's trying to do, using new ball as a spinner when it is very evident what the batsmen of Brampton Raiders are trying to do here. To try to take the attack on over the head of Yuvraj Samra. That's a scintillating shot over the infield. There was a short covers, no protection, 2 fielders inside the circle. It was 2 full, 2 up, and Ranbir Singh was quick enough to utilize on the full delivery to fetch 4 runs. Having that control on new ball is not easy for any bowler. He's done that in and out. That's better. Slider on quickly onto his pads. Keeper standing up close. The veterans, the core group, what the team Patiala Shahi has today. They have today is in fact that's nicely played to the fielder, Gavin Buller, who's at long on. Could not connect well. Straight away, the fellow batter's asking, have you not seen the fielder station at long on? First blood again. Was good intent from the batters, but under the bat did not get the right part. Not too full, and first blood drawn from Raiders. Brings on the new batter, Parvesh Ahuja, taking his mark. They've got one slip in position, good attacking captaincy from Harsh Thakur. He's a left-handed bowler, Sheel Patel. So there are chances, higher chances, where he tries to get the ball gripping from the surface to go to the cauldron, first slip cauldron. That is why they have him. Ends the over. So far, only 6 runs off the over. One boundary, but in return, they've collected 1 wicket to mitigate the boundary. Bhagwan Singh to continue from the road end. Probably they'll be bowling in tandem, Bhagwan and Sheel. We were talking about the group, a very young group who are marshalling today. He'll have to bowl that one again. Called it as a wide. First over from Bhagwan was very interesting to see a couple of half chances go up in the air. Not responded. Very close. The very first delivery inside the circle on the cover side. That's a half tracker. Screamed that away. The question is, will it be running away to the boundary? There are some lumps of grass on the outfield that might have stopped the ball from going to the boundary. Was an excellent shot of the square. Between the stumps, that is a better line from the veteran. Only regular faces you'll see today from the team donning gold and black is Yuvraj Samra, Bhagwan Singh, Samit Gohil, Harsh Thakur. He's played that nicely, half chance, probably a dive. Would have expected that from a fielder who's electrifying as Gavin. Very well bowled, bowling with sheer pace. So far, only 3 runs. To those of you who've joined us now on the live stream, Patiala Shahi has won the toss and they've elected to bowl first. Great bounce. Utilize. Oh, direct hit. Keep running. Keep running. What a fielding effort. You cannot be lazy where the fielders are active and awake. No wonder nowhere near the batsman would have thought that would have got him out. Not an easy sight to get the bullseye from the one-sided stumps when they are visible from only one side. Superb fielding effort. Today the ball's finding Gavin. Gavin's not finding the ball. The ball's coming onto him. That sends back the second opener for Brampton Raiders. Should be bowling that one again. He hasn't been too tidy today. He's shown what he's capable of, keeping the areas tight, using the channel. What is interesting to me is that the surface, if you just take off the white markers and stumps, the surface will go along with the outfield. The ball's coming really nicely onto the bat. You can see the bounce. Were very quick on their feet to collect one. Three overs done, 2 wickets gone. The score's on 15. 2 wickets, the man in action, courtesy Gavin Buller. I like the fact that Harsh is still using the aggressive approach, having one slip on, a very composed head. In fact, one of the prominent names in Canadian cricket as a very versatile batter, handy bowler, an exquisite talent who can come to use as required with his bowling, batting skills, and of course his fitness. It's very unfortunate not to see him in the T20 game with his injury. But one thing what is promising of this talent is that he's got a lot of potential. A lovely use of hands, drilled down the ground to collect 2 runs. The type of batter Parvesh is known to change his gears accordingly. A very vital cog in Brampton Raiders, and they are desperately in need of partnership here. End of the over, 4 overs completed, 18 on board for 2 wickets. Similar play of fashion, where the first time Brampton Reed is competing with Patiala Shahi at Andrew McCandless. The boys in black and gold did not give any loopholes, any corners to capitalize Raiders. And today as well, marching and making a statement from ball 1. New bowler Tejinder will run away for 4 runs. This timed that beautifully. Did not try to overhead that, just stroked it away. Tejinder greeted in fashion. Welcome to the bowling crease. A similar action like Sohail Tanveer that flies off taking the edge. No fielder there. A bounty of 4 runs for Brampton Raiders to collect. Scores started to move. Runs coming in flux of 2 deliveries. You can see him, Sohail Tanveer, when he used to bowl. He's playing nicely. They've accumulated 8 runs of the over already. They'll now have to just rotate the strike. Uses his feet. That's a serene shot to send it down the track for 6 or 4 runs. We'll have to wait for the signal from the umpire. And 4 runs, yes, very close to the boundary line. There are shots where you can just have very few words to explain and enjoy its beauty, and you can relish on the shots. This is one of those shots. Nicely taken off his ribs. Will give 1 run. Smart cricket from Parvesh. What they'll have to do is that try to forge a partnership and then see to take the game deeper, because they've already lost 2 wickets in the power play. This over is turning out to be expensive. 13 already with 1 ball remaining. Sent to the fielder at long off. That'll be 1 to conclude the over. 32 runs of 5 overs. Parvesh batting on 14 of 8 deliveries. Sukesh of 4 runs, 8 deliveries that he's faced. So far, the limelight has been on Gavin, and he's got the ball. Let's see if he can be exceptional as he was with the field on today in the initial 5 overs. That's Lusner to give away a freebie. That's an overthrow. Taken off to the fielder, the captain himself at point. One tantalizing fact for me is that the runs behind the keeper, 1 run to collect, more of a paddle, but away from the line. Gavin will have to bowl that one again with 1 run of buys. Played that really well. There's no chance the fielder can get that. But the field play comes into picture, just resulting in 2 runs and saving 2 more runs. Every run is going to be essential here for both the teams. Brampton Raiders, the first game, they're not at their fullest. They want to redeem in the second game. He's used his wrists, used his power, and is delved out of that. 4 runs near to the side screen. Great use of wrist, steady head position, did not lose her shape.
Nice shot, boy.
He'll have to run again. 4 more runs. The captain himself has taken the responsibility of bowling. The power play is ended. 45 on board, 2 wickets down. 6 overs completed, and very tight line bowl. And this is what you would expect from a marquee player like Harsh Thakur. Taking a recap back to the last season of GT20, where Harsh Thakur scored 82 amazing runs. Those were to watch out for, and especially in an interview with a podcaster when Fakhar Zaman asked him about the game. So he was surprised and stunned. A lot of cricket coming up. Exciting ventures ahead for cricket in Canada, especially with the cricket communities, the teams like Patiala Shahi. An integral part in the Brampton region to promote the growth for cricket. They've been the leaders, just like a brand value, a reputation that goes along. We'll continue that after the over. 7 overs completed, 48 on board off 2 wickets. Harsh Thakur only 3 runs that he's conceded off his first over. Sukesh Kaldra batting of 15 runs of 13 deliveries. Parvesh Ahuja on 17 of 15. Interesting call for Harsh to take between Gavin, because he's also conceded 13 runs. With Tejinder, but has shown confidence for Gavin. Probably his height can be a factor because they haven't seen much runs conceded off spin. Deflected away for 1. They'll take 2. There's no fielder station. Bigger boundaries, bigger pockets. So you want to use the full dimensions of the ground, but it's bigger. You can see the curve taking the turn. That's where the bigger sides are. Goes down the track, cries of catches. No way Harsh is dropping that. No way in your dreams you would think Harsh to drop that. Running back. He's kept his body balance. Great wicket. And that's why he's gone and shown confidence on Gavin Buller. No stable position of his head. You can see that he wanted to hit it desperately. Getting nothing but perishing. Good captaincy is what you can say. Good ploy from the captain. Arshdeep Sidhu, who's a veteran of Patiala Shahi. He's played many games, especially he's seen the ascension of Patiala Shahi cricket alongside Jimmy Sharma. Soft hands, fielder up close, and you can put the pressure playing by soft hands. The game of pressure. You're playing cricket because your skill very true. But it's all about the nerves, as Gautam Gambhir says. Under the bat to get 1 run. That one name, apart from Harsh Thakur and Stardom, that has been on buzz is about Kaleem Sana. What a T20 World Cup that he's had for Canada. What a bowler. A left arm. You talk about anyone, you talk to anyone in the Canadian team, they'll definitely talk about Kaleem Sana's work ethics. Very hard working towards his bowling, always believes in getting his basics right. When we talk about big names, Harpreet Hoti, the keeper who's actually the owner of Brampton Royals, is also debuting for Patiala Shahi today. This game never disappoints. It's always interesting to see the figures that you're playing, especially with the type of good competitive rivalry what Brampton Royals and Patiala Shahi cricket has. These teams have been on apex, they've been apex figures for putting on shows. Sanjay Sharma will open the attack and the quota for today's overs. Well, his debuted for Patiala Shahi and the type of reputation, the impression what this club carries, the players love to play one of the biggest cricket clubs, arguably in Canada. But would he continue? And the onslaught should have begun by now. Half tracker, Sana was quick to identify the length, goes back and using his body weight has dispatched that for 6 runs. This is a good move if he's playing for Brampton Raiders. Sahib Malhotra has promoted Sana up the order. A player like his scale can come handy with bat, and he would want to use and test himself with the wonders he can do with bat. Signal as a leg by. A lot in comparison, we go with the last game is that they've lost the wickets in quick succession, but comparing the batting of Brampton Raiders, they were a little too uncomfortable batting after losing wicket, especially when Aaron Johnson took the onslaught on Patiala Shahi, and then the batters never really got going. But here, this is a good sign. 61 already on board, but one thing that you want to keep in your mind is about your wickets. They've lost 3 wickets, and 2 more wickets. Their middle order will be done, exposing the lower middle order. This is coming straight to the end where the commentary is happening. Yuvraj Samra in action. That'll trickle the ball into the boundary. 4 runs. Kaleem Sana here is ready to put on a show. What a game opener against USA. The very first game, Canada and USA. Kaleem Sana set the tone, but all this is beautiful. But the fielder was stationed. Kaleem Sana goes out. Just going with the flow. It is important to know where the fielders are. They'd already collected 12 runs of 4 deliveries, but he wanted to utilize more. Getting greedy can be dangerous. Brings on captain with task on hand to complete. 4 wickets down. Easy single to ease his nerves. Says no for the second one. Saib's off the mark. 9 overs completed, 66 of 4 wickets. Scoring decently, Brampton Raiders. Only the ominous fact has been losing the wickets. 1 or 2 wickets could have been avoided, especially the one Kaleem Sana got out just with his adrenaline, got in full flow, wanted to utilize a little too greedy, I would say, as well. But a trademark quality of Patiala Shahi, not allowing the opponent to get comfortable, not going on back foot, especially with that one defeat against Brampton Royals. They've always bounced up. Just what their team motto says, the objective is to rise. That is sluggish from keeper, could have been stopped. You wouldn't expect. Must feel, especially the type of gameplay is happening currently. It's a wide +1. Pressed on the front foot. Brings on the fielder from long off to play. Sends back. Saib Malhotra will get only one. When talking about an important figure like Harpreet Hoti, who's wicket keeping, alongside this young troop, can seem that he's involved, but he's not overtaking. So this is important if you're senior of the game, when you see if you've kept an eye of an eagle, you know what's happening in the game. It's more about the mentorship, great collaboration by Jimmy Sharma to get Harpreet Hoti, who's been very successful with Brampton Royals. What fascinates me or keeps me in awe is when the expertise of Jimmy Sharma takes the opportunity to bring on experience, to give exposures to the lads, to bring out this culture in the club. Out of all the franchises and clubs, one thing has been in very common. That is about promoting culture and setting up your premise. Nicely flighted. Was too quick for the fielder before he could dive. The ball trickled away. Mihir Patel is in action as well. You've got Mihir, Yuvraj, a very young brigade. That ends the over. 74 of 4 wickets, 10 overs completed. We're halfway in the game, 10 overs completed. Swept away. We'll come back for the second one. Harsh Thakur. Sai Malhotra, he's faced 4 deliveries. He's got 5 runs. We'll expect some magic from the captain. Just a funny fact to reflect upon. What if Harpreet Hoti starts playing for Patiala Shahi? Would he bring the expertise? No, but he's got his own club. Moments like these are precious to cricket and especially to the clubs. This fierce rivalry, very true, but sportsman spirit at its best. This is good cricket because they'd want to somehow get away with the 4 overs what Harsh is bowling. He's on a second over, so they do not want to take any unnecessary risk. Might have been the discussion when the owner of Brampton Raiders walked in after a halfway point, saying that we've only got 6 wickets, 2 more wickets or 1 wicket down, they're on the back foot. Half of their dugout biting on nails and praying for a miracle. So this is 1 wicket that's holding the ship of Brampton Raiders. But not to forget the fact how experienced Sahib is, that he brings on to any team that he plays. He's played a lot of cricket. His acumen, his passion, it's unmatchable. 11 overs completed, 7 conceded of 2 overs from Harsh, 78 on board, 4 wickets down. And anyone that who's joined along with us right now with the live stream or on the ground, Patiala Shahis won the toss and they've elected to bowl first. Harsh Thakur stepping up as an interim captain. Half of the unit is on the tour on pursuit to clinch a trophy from Ottawa. Full swing to send down for 1. Gavin's draped himself in the colour of game. What an exceptional fielding effort from Mihir Patel. Was inside the circle. Covers. They've got an extra covers outside. Goes big. Is it long enough is the question. Yes. Inches away with the jump from the fielder on long on. Right in the slot. He was happy to accept that gift. And the drought for boundaries end with this big 6. This one was low, was very low. 4 balls bowled, 8 runs so far. Gavin's bowling his fourth over, the last over of his quota for today. 34 runs with 1 wicket. Appealing, an umpire disinterested. Accusations of LBW, but the batter survives. As this is good stuff from the batting team. They've got a boundary, sensible cricket. And the ball is bowled up, trying to persuade, they're trying to stimulate to allow the batter hit away in the air, not along the carpet. The over ends, 12 overs completed, 87 on board of 4 wickets. The standard point so far in the game for me is that 4 overs Harsh is given to Gavin, irrespective of that he's been slightly expensive. Would be very harsh on Tejinder. I'm saying slightly expensive because Gavin's conceded 34, conceding 1 wicket. He's done the damage with 1 wicket, but yes, no overthrows, but yes, overthrows. As the night progresses, it's going to get cold here at Teramoto. Always windy. Good collect behind the stumps by Harpreet Hoti, veteran of the game. I've seen a lot of championship tournaments. Harpreet Hoti. Straight back to the bowler. Very less room. You can see that Harsh is just trying to keep the line and length same. All 4-5 balls that he's bowled, 5 deliveries till now, the same area. The change has been in his variation. The pace. Look at the release point that he releases his delivery from. Flight at this time it was quicker. Same area, same channel, but just quicker. He's got his basics right. 3 overs, 8 runs is conceded. This will be a good practice for him going into GT20. 13 completed, 88 on board of 4 wickets for Brampton Raiders. Anywhere around 140 on board. Will be fascinating to see an exciting contest between these two teams. Can be a tug of war, especially with the type of bowling attack Brampton Raider possesses. Sheel Patel, after 2 overs that is bowled in power play, has been called on. On a very broad understanding of game, I understand that Harsh has kept everything simple, professional, off the back foot for 1. And with Gavin and Tejinder, he's tried to experiment. He's got the room, of course, he can try that. So he's taken the liberty. He won again. He's taken the liberty to express, like he always says, give your best on the field and make sure you enjoy while you're diving. becomes crucial when you're a young captain, when you've got the same age brigade, the team you work along with, the trust you build, you work in harmony, goes down the track, straight to the fielder, and Gavin is not going to drop that. Two catches for Gavin so far, one run out and one wicket in his bowling. Good bowling by Sheel. Did not get complete bat. The inside part of the bat resulting in wicket. That leaves Sahib Malhotra stranded on one end. Brampton Raiders are in peril. 92 on board with one ball to go to complete the 14th over. 140 is what we were expecting, but 120 is something this unit would want to wrap Brampton Raiders off. Great start in the first game as well. The middle overs, that's where Patiala Shahi spilled their magic. They casted their spell with spin. Raymond Bino was playing that game as well. When I see Raymond playing, Harsh playing, those are the 4 overs of spin that the team can bank on. 24 deliveries, there are high chances that we can take wickets. And not to forget what Patiala Shine, especially Jimmy Sharma, has backed up players. Players like Sheel Patel, Harsh Thakur, with prolific management. Was just a regulatory appeal from the bowler and the keeper. No one interested. That ends the over with a dot. Fourth over from the captain, taken off the pads for one run. The bowling has been really good, apart from the couple of extras. If I'm not being harsh, the area the bowlers have used as of the off, fourth, fifth stumps, especially the spinners, there have been only a couple of deliveries that have been half trackers. It's flown off the edge. It's waiting for the signal from the umpire. They'll get two. Nadeem Manjra, new batter on strike. Straight into the pouch of wicketkeeper. He's been super tidy. Harpreet Hoti. Halfway across. Good running between the wickets. Quick to call for the second one. Key is to take the first one early and have an early call to complete the second. It's all about coordination and trust on your partner. Take the away. We'll get with one. It's a fine leg. Maybe the line Harsh is bowling. Probably not, because the batter playing against the line, the offside delivery played onto the leg side, there are always higher chances. So you wouldn't want to play according to the batter, but always make the batter play according to your bowling style or the field that you've set. 98 of 15, 5 wickets down. Somewhere there's still a ray of hope for Brampton Raiders if they are able to utilize this last quarter, 5 overs of the game, 30 deliveries, and how much will they be able to milk? Shield in his final over, 1 run. Also, for the viewers who do not know, is that most of the players have played either the under 19 or the club games under the same club, um, and they've played in the same game, so they know each other really, really well, and this helps the players stick together as a cohesive unit. So when we're talking about team building, team formations, this becomes crucial to know what ingredients go in the dish you're preparing. So this again, the credit goes to the management of Patiala Shahi to understand that who's going to get along with who. So this is your chessboard. Get your pieces right. Nicely flighted. Played that inside out. Extra cover in play. Will get only one. Field in his final over, 16 so far conceded of 2 wickets. Bowled quicker, relatively quicker from his previous delivery. This is good use of bowlers by the captain. He used the pace, but Arshdeep Sidhu stationed on long off. Cross batted shot for one. Started with Bhagwan Singh for his initial overs. Sheel Patel bowled two along with him. That's four. And then tried something with Tejinder to back up. He himself bowled, then got Gavin, was high on confidence with that magnificent run out. That ends the over. Great bowling, great spell by Sheel Patel. 2 wickets, 18 runs, and his quota is done for the day. A sight to behold at Teramoto. Great artistry by the very own management. Six Creation has got this live streaming going, especially with the craft of Gagan. And you're wondering if you need a live stream, if you know any search engine optimizations. There's only one stop shop, the big boy in town, Six Creations. Seldom we've seen Samra roll his arm, but this is one of those days that captain has shown confidence on Samra. He's got a great potential. A southpaw who's very tenacious. Will roll his arm as well. Taked off the nick. This third man inside the circle will give them a graceful boundary. Just using his wrists to play the face of the bat. 107 for 5. He's bowling with good pace. Probably next time when there's a whole unit of Patiala Shahi, Yuvraj might put his hand up and saying that you might want to go and see the clip where I'm bowling against Brampton Raiders at Teramoto and see I can be handy. I love the fact of this team is that they've always tried to use the part timers as well, knowing where the game stands, not to be cocky about the situation, but they've always tried to think out of the box. This is nicely played. Straight hands, a textbook shot to fetch him 2 runs right under the bat. And when we were talking about the runs scored, the runs given by the bowlers without any extras, there have been only deliveries that you want to be lenient upon. There have been only few that were going sliding down the leg side. But apart from that, they've always tried to collect a wicket, and that costed them boundaries. Uses his pace, smart from Samra. He's read him before, well ahead of time, seeing him dance down the track and changed his pace. Very smart. How difficult does it become when you're performing, when you know you have to put on a performance with bat on, and especially you're a batting all rounder too. When you're putting a performance on with the bat, and then you have to bowl, and how do you keep up the pressure? I know there are some cricketing gurus sitting and watching us from the live stream. So, if anyone wants to answer that question, do you think the players have that potential? I mean, the pressure. Of course, they do have the potential, but in fact, I was about to say the pressure. Would Does the pressure take them down, especially when they bat well? They are on cloud 9, but if it goes down south, does it affect their bowling too? What do you guys think? 18 balls remaining, and Bhagwan Singh is pending with 2 overs, 2 overs to deliver. 8 overs, Yuvraj Samras conceded of his first over. Starting to get hazy as we approach the hours of night. Will get cold, windy, especially at Teramoto when compared to Andrew McCandless. Viewers here enjoying the sight of cricket, a baseball game happening on the other field too. Well, the distant cousin of baseball, going hand in hand, a baseball field here, right adjacent to the cricket field. Some discussions before they get started. More about the ball, some questions that arise for the batting and the bowling team, probing the umpire. Interruption in play. Should, so- should soon resume. Resume with play. Bhagwan Singh starts with his over. Two remaining. Straight to the fielder who's raiding the long off. They've played really good shots. They haven't connected it well. The timing, the area, they have to dig it out. There's not much power. Then when you're bowling with pace, either you can utilize it, the full, or that's big. That's mammoth, colossal. Go fetch it. That's a big one in long time that we've seen here at Teramoto Park. There you go, the big man Sahib waiting for it in the slot. Frees his arms. Great flow of his blade. Always, if you see the big six hitters in cricketing world, one thing that remain constant is their bat flow, the back lift. Oh, he's connected that. He's connected that into the night sky for 6 more runs. And suddenly, after 5 wickets, they've come to a realization that they have to give some fireworks to light up Teramoto Park. Into the deep mid wicket, down on one knee. Chipped up over the infield. Should come back for the second one. In fact, the third one might be a question. The first, good response, good running between the wicket. In fact, very well. Excellent stuff. They'll want to exploit the bowler now. ₹17 of 6 deliveries. One of the expensive overs of the first innings. 128 on board. If they're going to bat like this, there's a high possibility we'll have a thrilling contest. Raj on for a second one. That's hammered. That's hammered straight for 4 runs into the fence. Something has changed after the resumption of play, and the batters are in full flow. Really nice to see the bat gliding on the ball. Great connection. Quickly bowl. Use the angle of the delivery to send it to the leg side. No fielder at backward leg. More at the deep square leg. There's a vacant region between the fine leg fielder and where the fielders placed that deep square leg. He was enjoying the side. Present at the ground. On one knee, tries to sweep it. Very well said. If someone said that, fortune favors the brave, and this delivery shows you that. As in prime example, when they're trying to take the chances on to play fearless cricket, they need that. Apologies for scoreboard running a little slow. The score is 146 on down for 5 wickets. The technical difficulties, we are in process to update the scoreboard. Tries everything, throws that at the kitchen sink, but finds the fielder. Excellent change of pace. On 47 on board. At one time, it was very difficult for the batting team to even think that they're going to reach somewhere close to 130, 140. They've excelled the mark. Over the head of the keeper, everyone skipped that. It's the striker's call to come back for the second one. And well ahead, Sahib. He scampers back to complete the second run. With one ball to go, suddenly the runs have started to leak in the last phase of the game. Team Patiala Shahi was very tight with the line in length, and he's cleaned up. The last love is held by Yuvraj Samra. Full toss delivery, but the damage has been done. You can see Sahib waiting to slog it off right into the block hole. Gets the wicket of dangerous Sahib Malhotra. The captain has led the troop with an example. Very few times that we've seen that any chase, anything that's been chased down above 150, especially with the outfield we have. We were talking about having lumps of grass at certain areas that is slowing down the pace of ball to travel to the boundary. We'll have to see what the end result, the final 6 deliveries, will get us. 149 on board. We're still facing technical difficulties and we are in progress to fix the scoreboard. The score's on 149 of 6 wickets. Bhagwan Singh. That's rocketed way above, beyond. Gavin Buller will be a bystander to see the ball land on the side screen. Bhagwan Singh steams again and dealt again. Is slogged on 2 and 2. 2 consecutive sixes. Nadeem Manjra on fire. He's putting on some show. Brampton Raiders not going home without putting up a fight. They are here to redeem themselves. From the first game, they are wounded. So does the character of Nadeem Manjra looks. Is here to exploit the weak spots of the bowling link. Sahib Malhotra set the tone. Now Manjra is accustomed to play the big shots. Is played with full fluidity, no hesitation. 12 runs already, pressure on the bowler. This is good pace. Change of pace helps. Comes ally to Bhagwan Singh. Will have a cracker of a game if Nadeem Manjra tries to connect at least one from here. 161. Full toss. Let's put that. Let's put in the gap. We'll come back for 2 runs. Outstanding running between the wickets. They were not lazy to see whether the ball's going to the fence or no. They kept running. Yes and no hesitations can cause you trouble, especially when you know that you're acing. They'll have to come back for the second one. Last delivery. They're happy with one. That ends 20 overs play. One innings done. 163 on board. 164 on board. Patiala Shahi require 165 to rise above the total. To rise again, to hoist the waving flag. Will it be the night of Patiala Shahi, the boys in black and gold, who will march on with a comfortable victory, or the Brampton Raiders coming into the party and making it sour for the boys in black and gold? You'll get that answer in the second innings, but for sure you've got a promising game on your head with a solid batting lineup and an exceptional bowling attack, which is fiery from Brampton Raiders. We'll join you soon.
ટ્રેક્ટરની માંગણી કરો ને, એક નાનું ટ્રેક્ટર અહીંયા આપણે અંદર મૂકી દે ને એક ટ્રેક્ટર, કેપ્ટન ભાઈ હમણાં બેટિંગ કરવા શીખી જાય તો ભાઈ બાનું કરશે કે મને તો બોલ બી કરવું પડ્યું.
Welcome back to the second innings, where Patiala Shahi take their crease to chase down 165 in 120 deliveries. Harpreet Hoti alongside Yuvraj Samra, the experience and the fresh blade. Good to see Yuvraj pairing up with a veteran. Gives it a wild swing, but gets only a puff of air. Kesh Kalra has opened the bowling attack for Brampton Raiders. Just to reflect upon the type of bowling Brampton Raiders have in their arsenal, they're very lethal and hostile, the type of bowlers they carry in their arsenal, especially with Irfan Sadat, Kaleem Sana, not to forget his name. Now the world knows as well. Straight to the fielder. Samraz halfway down the track. Yes, no. And there was no way Harpreet was making that. He sacrificed his wicket. An early wicket. What Brampton Raiders were in search of. Good fielding effort up close. Lack of call. And the guy who walks in. Samit Goel. The cement of the partnerships Patiala Shahi is made. Always that is come on to bat. He's batted in two digits. He's never gone in a single digit. He's got an attribute. He just does not play the game, but also gets along with the fellow batter and makes them play too. So he understands the game, reads the game, assesses the situation. Brings down the southpaw to face his first delivery. One slip in position. Pays respect. Straight blade. One thing to keep in mind, batting alongside with Samit Gohel, you have to be at your best with your fitness. Tries to convert ones into twos. No risky shots that he plays. Always calculative with what is happening and what has to happen. That's a maiden wicket over. Enormous start for Patiala Shahi. They would not have expected a wicket to go down without scoring anything. But that was just purely miscommunicated. Yuvraj was halfway down and Harpreet responded to Yuvraj. But a gift in return. Hope the night does not ruin for Patiala Shahi and as glory for Brampton Raiders. We'll get to know in a couple of overs as the play progresses, unless someone starts going. A very initial phase, a good start. You'd want to kick your tires before you hit the road. So, similarly, the power play will get the ball rolling for the team. And the credits to Nadeem Manjra and the captain Sahib Malhotra. What a great hand they've played down the order. Straight to the fielder. Yes, no, that's a misfield. They take the opportunity of misfield to collect one. That's the opening runs for Patiala Shahi. Very versatile. Yuvraj Samra has scored 100 in the second game, or one day second game against Hong Kong. First game was gone for a single digit score. That shows about a character. He's got a lot of games to play. Good delivery. The pace and the bounce took him by a surprise. See how well that is bowled. The ball was way past his bat. You've got one slip in position, and ideally, that's the line you'd want to bowl. When you've got a slip, if you can try to get some movement, at least not swing, but see movement of the surface. You'd want the batter to click the bait, having slip in position. Good captaincy by Saib Malhotra. That was shellagged to the fielder at short covers. That'll put on another run. Rise of catches. The hit well in the gap. He picks his spots really well. It's not by a surprise that a player like this, who's played games, that's the second over concluded. 3 runs. Kesh Kalra to Samit Gohil. Straight to the fielder. 162 required. The run rate skewed up in air. Prize of catches wafted. The batter might have got his heart and mouth seeing the ball dangle in air. Amit Goel, a man with his expertise, was outplayed with the change of pace. Was signaling Yuvraj that he is using his variations. Try to read him from hand. It's come off the edge. Wanted to flick away, but has gone in the point in the square region, giving another one. This will be a good learning, a good curve of learning for Yuvraj with the type of attack Brampton Raider has. Nicely played that. Cries of catches. Will he get in time? Good effort. A desperate effort, but not easy running backward. All your weight, all the weight of your head, seeing the ball, not easy to take the balance. The batters of Patiala Shahi playing on the edge. requires scoring 9 runs and over at least to be in the game. Using the pace, he's given it a deft touch. We'll come back for the second one. It's simple if you're utilizing the bigger pockets. Good throw straight to the stumps. We'll have another one bowled before the over ends. 9 runs so far. Sukesh has been exceptional. Leaves that to go into the keeper's pouch. Wide ball. How many times that we talk about T20 cricket being the game of power, fast pace, but Samit Goel shows time and time that you can keep it simple with your technique. Good call. They've called the fielder a little upwards to stop that one run. Sai Malhotra has seen Samit use the pace, cutting ball across. A good move, stopping single that ends the over with a dot. 10 runs on board, 1 wicket down. That's very well played. Beautifully played over the head of infield. 4 runs from the very talented Yuvraj Samra. At times, less is more. So you try to play the ball under your eyes. That's what he did here. Allowed the ball to come using his wrists over the head of the fielder who was at mid off.
Thank you very much.
They need this partnership going. At least a stand of 50. The captain might have said the regulation, the status quo for the team, saying that this is where I'm looking at the players to do. This is what your role is. Not to forget the responsibility every time Samit is taken to anchor the innings. This partnership has really made me be in awestruck because every time I've seen Samra and Govind bat, they've always come out with flying colors. Sana might be revving, ready to go against Gohil. This will be the battle to see, to witness tonight for me. This is one battle between the young gun, Samra, Sana, and Gohil that I'm looking forward to. Not to forget, Harsh Thakur is sitting there in the dugout as a captain himself. Skewed up, the keeper settling under the ball. There's fine leg fielder too, and Samit Gohil perishes. The curse has fallen upon him. This time he goes for a single digit score. I said it too early. Not his day today. He's faced 12 deliveries, and the keeper calls at him. Played against the line, wanted to flick across. There was fielder from fine leg converging. In fact, a very good call to stay away, not to distract the keeper. Parvesh Ahuja, the alma mater of Patiala Shahi, against them today. Very talented Mihir Patel, a prolific batter. Also plays for JV Masters for one day. Was been alongside of Patiala Shahi from 2 years approximately. Yes and no. There's no run there. Of course, there's no run. That's a superb shot. Delightful to watch. The staying in his crease, using his body weight. Roll your vest around. He's got some cheering from the dugout. Fans rooting for him. You can see the stand and deliver. One bounce, two, and trickling into the fence. Sahib Malhotra, my apologies. It's not Sahib Malhotra. Sukesh Kalra to continue the third over. Young guns on crease. Mihir and Yuvraj, the responsibility will fall upon them. Let's see if the best is made out of today. To a very young, supremely talented. One's a left-hander, played with soft hands, straight to the fielder. Very raw. They're still in their early stages, but then they've shown the world, they've shown the cricket fraternity in Canada what they're capable of. Have to wait for the umpire signal. Was there any bat involved? Should come back for the third one. Meher is quick on his feet. Very good running. This is expected, and they've been fulfilling that. There was bat involved. 3 runs. Meher in his podcast on Stumping Mud Holes with Jimmy Sharma mentioned about how he got the chance, how he utilized. He is more of a giver. Whatever you throw at him, he gives you the best. What the chance given. Very well played. Very well played. Late on the shot. He cut that late deliberately. Cricket isn't a game about boundaries, T20 as well. It's about using your ground, the other factors, what come into play. If you know, if you assess the conditions well ahead of time, then you can exploit the opposition. You tend to know what their weak spots are. Off the back foot to the fielder at backward point. Sorry, point. They've got a gully too. They've got a gully, backward point, point, inside the circle. On the pads, no is the scream, and they settle for no. Good bowling attack, using the deck, back of the length. Sukesh has been frugal, and that ends the over with 5 runs coming off the over. Sukesh Kalra has conceded only 12 runs with no wickets on his name, but that has helped the other bowler, Gurpal Sidhu, trying to squeeze runs out of him, where Sukesh on the other end is trying to cork the bottle. 9.20 is the required run rate, 15 overs in hand, 138. Last over of power play, slightly a slower start for Patiala Shahi cricket. Half of the teams on the pursuit to Ottawa, and yet they managed to put out best team on paper. Down the track, Mihir had to move, save your legs. I don't know if the batter will be gutted just because of the outfield when it is slow and the dew also comes in later part of the night. That it does not give the speed on ball, so it forces you to play aerial shots, which involves high risk. There are returns, but not at the cost of losing your marquee players in the team. Yuvraj really needs to be calculative here. Bowling between the stumps, quick on feet. The communication between two of these batters will be key. Knowing which bowlers to target, when to target, and how much to score. Because at 1 over, we've seen Sana score briskly, and the same over, Sana had perished. Bhagwan Singh taking the catch at covers. He had 2 sixes in that over. Was a very eventful over for Brampton Raiders. Excellent running. Good run. Was too tight. When we say coordination, this is what the coordination should be. When you've taken off, if you've left your crease for run, your fellow partner on the non-striker's end should have confidence in you that it is a run, but because there was a tight call, there's always a slight hesitation when you're reluctant to complete the run. Had to generate the power, slower delivery, sent to long on for one. With all this cricket happening, I think the exposure what the team management, especially the credit goes to Jimmy Sharma too. the type of exposure he's always looked at the future to give to the players who are playing, who are part of the club. Good running between the wickets. Close call would have been straight back to dugout. Mihir Patel. Off his pads. Flicked away across for one. Ends the over. 5 of the over. Let's cut that away. Fast hands to the fielder. Wide third man. Denies the call for a single. Good rise. Coming straight onto the bat, but no room. Is giving no room to the batter to play his shots. You haven't seen any run coming off so far. Yuvraj Samra struggling to get full flow. And the run rate, what you see right now at 9.85, 9.97, will start to leap once we are past 8 overs and if they haven't scored any boundary. So the boundaries have dried up. We haven't seen in a long time a boundary coming. For the one that Mihir Patel scored off his hips. Ones and twos will not fill the pot, having the run rate at 10. They'll have to start playing their strokes. They'll have to be adventurous. They should try. Saib Malhotra, father sitting in the pavilion watching him play, was super happy seeing him score. Proud man seeing him score sixes, big sixes. Askaya, he's belted that for 6 runs, much required. Very much needed boundary to ease the pressure. Stays tall, full swing, hitting down the track for 6 runs. Goes big, does not get the distance, gets lucky as well for not getting the distance. Work the fielder stationed. That's the end of the over. The score is 47 on the loss of 2 wickets. 8 overs completed. Oman Zafar is continuing his second over. He's given just 2 runs in 7 balls he's bowled. 48 on board. 9.89 is required per over. The whole outlook of the game will change if they don't get any boundary in this over. It'll start to jump on 10. Will get difficult. Boundaries are scored, or the runs have only come if the deliveries were bowled full, away from the body. This is very unlikely of the character of the Patiala Shahi batters. They've still got enough firepower in the dugout. They can try attempting for shots before it's too late, before the pressure starts piling up and anyone. This is good running. This is required before anyone can do anything. Because Harsh has the ability to accelerate according to the situation, the demand, what is needed. We've seen Harsh come into play against USA series, the five T20 series that is played. The bat is not ready. Some movement front of side screen. Punched off the back foot, should get definitely at least 2, but will settle for 1. The deflection from the fielder. Just given them 1. The right and left hand partnership still going long because Samra, the opener, one of the opener had departed. They're still continuing the right-handed, left-handed combination. So with having a different feel, the bowler having adjusted to the left-hander and right-hander, probably they're going to find some way out. Mihir Patel deep in the crease, pulls across to deep square leg, getting 2 runs. 6 runs off the over. Like I've said, if there's no boundary, the run rate will skip up to 10 runs and over. There's 1 more ball to go. They'd want to pull the run rate down. So, easy mathematical calculation. You'd want to know how many runs you're scoring in how many overs to target or to know who's bowling next. And if you've got the likes of Sana or Sukesh, who's been very impressive with the ball in his hand, you'd not want to target them because they are on a song. It's not that you don't want to. It's got behind, but there was no nick. Felt like there was some deflection. That ends the over. 9 overs completed. 53 on the loss of 2 wickets. Wanting to cut away. No room for Mihir. It's all about nerves now. 11 overs. 11 overs there. On screen, required 112. 10 and over required. Hamid's been sent by the captain. It's always there in the drinks break that if someone's sent, it's just not to re-energize, revitalize yourself, but to also restructure your innings. There's always a message. from the dugout. This is what we're looking at. The players to come into the square for one. Tall spinners having the extra advantage of height where the ball comes when they try to loop, especially in comparison of Sahib and Mihir. The type, the delivery is going to release it from quicker off the hand and the bounce. Yes, that's going to make a difference because we've also seen the fast bowlers get good bounce off the surface. When we are looking at the surface, it's all green track. It's more about facing a medium pace bowler, a spinner as well. That the X factor what we're having is the height from the angle, the release point Sahib is releasing the ball. Sahib's brother plays for US, pushed back for one. Was it six sixes? The information was given from his father, and yes, he was very happy to see and delighted to see Sahib smack the bowlers of Patiala Shahi across the park, and that has definitely helped the total bill. Nicely cut away. He stood tall. He used the bounce, did not try to get under the ball. Heartbreaking for me as a commentator as well to see the ball not go to the boundary. Was a shot somewhere in between two minds. Vihir and Yuvraj. Yuvraj is slightly taller as well, but they would want to communicate and say that, hey, maybe you'd want to stay tall, stand up, and play the ball late because Sahib bowling and the bounce coming at you, you're not able to reach the bounce, but allow the ball to come to you at least. Because it's not full, it's on the good length between that channel. It's pushed into the deep for one run. It's understanding that you build with one another. 57 on the loss of 2 wickets, 10 overs completed. The run rate, what we are at, is 5.70. He's belted that. The fielder is in position. Firmly punched. Shot covers. Probably they won Mihir. I'm sorry, that's a shot mid on. Uses his feet, dance off the track. Nimble feet, fetching 6 runs, half a dozen. That should really help Mihir's confidence and also Patiala Shahi cricket team too. What a beauty of a shot. Used his feet, read it early, was in a slot, right off his sweet spot. They need a couple of big blows like this. Good comeback from the bowler. It is important for the batters to play on their merit. Nicely swept. When in doubt, bring the broom out. Great sliding effort. 2 runs. We haven't really seen anyone bring the sweep out. So this shows that Mihir isn't shy of playing all the shots what he has in his cricket book. Is multi-dimensional player. Straight to the fielder. A dot. Got 9 runs so far in the over. The over ends with 67 on the loss of 2 wickets. 11 overs completed. 10.89 still required. 98 to be scored to chase it successfully. At least from my understanding, what I get is there are at least 4 proper batters in the shed waiting. Saib Malhotra to continue. Says no for the second one. The game's all about putting pressure on the fielders, choosing your fielders, where to hit, who to hit towards. To use your gameplay. This is the ploy that you want to keep in your head. Tries going forward, then ends up playing on the backward feet. In two minds, front foot, back foot, gets nothing but the under edge of the bat. Flicked across. Is there a potential to have a second run there? Because we had seen in the first innings where the wickets were tumbling for Brampton Raiders. They tried taking singles and doubles. That changed the story. He swatted that well in front of side screen. Everything's come from the front. 4 runs for Samra. They need at least one boundary and over. Stays in his crease. Flexes his muscles to dispatch it for 4. Goes again. This is a biggie. Go fetch it from the road. Samra's on song. 6 runs. We were saying about the over. Now he is coming back at Sahib. 10 runs in 2 deliveries. In total, 12 so far. A ball to go. Superb from Samra. He's showing his class. Why he's known. Extremely dangerous as the innings progress. But it's all about nerves. Time and time we've talked about this. You can see the warm chart. The fall of wickets. At one point at 4 and 5 overs, Patiala Shahi were acing way above. And they're trying to match the blue curve now. Goes again. High. But not long enough. Into the lap of the fielder at long on. Shouldn't be disheartened. He perishes in an attempt to slog, to hit. Pat on shoulders. He goes again doing the job for the team. 29 runs of 20 deliveries. Third. 48 runs, change in the scorecard. We apologize for the technical difficulties we are facing. 79 on board. 48 has scored. Very talented Harsh Thakur, who takes a strike. Greeted with a delivery on his pads. That was a ripper. Sends it downtown for one. Clears his feet, pressing forward. 2 runs for Mihir Patel to collect from the covers region. Brings the paddle. Five with his last over. He's conceded 27 runs, picked 1 wicket. Of Samra, skews up, ball dangling. Finds inches ahead of the fielder, surviving. Sweetly timed. There's one quality about this exceptional batter. Even if he hits hard, the sound of the bat is so sweet that you'd say that please and thank you. Even the ball would say you please and thank you for hitting me. But a good shot from Mihir Patel. 2 runs. It is at times that a batter is of such stature as Harsh Thakur, when he comes onto the crease, takes the limelight away. But not to take any credit away from Mihir Patel and his talent. He's battling hard. His role will be pivotal in the construction of today's victory for Patiala Shahi. Cuts well. Has it got enough? Has the ball got enough legs to go to the boundary? Coming back for 2 runs. Successfully completed with 2. 90 on board. One thing to keep in mind is that the overs are reducing as the game goes on. The balls faced by Patiala Shahi batters, and the run rate spiking up too.
नहीं
92 on board after 14 overs, 6 overs remaining. The last 5 overs where the runs were leagued might prove out costly. That's where the boys in black and gold got a little relaxed. Tries to take the bowler on. It's nothing. 12 required. That says almost 2 runs every ball. Goes long, goes big, and handsome enough to collect half a dozen. Harsh Thakur being harsh on bowler. Look at the shot, look at the flow, look at the beauty that he's delivered for 6 runs. They've started well, a dot and a 6. He's giving himself he's giving himself some space. Quick run. Now the idea for the bowler when Harsh is trying to make room for himself to try to hit the ball should be to try to attack the stumps, nowhere closer to him, or where he can try following him to negate that room. Mir Patel this time, he's hit that like a tracer bullet. No way the fielder is going to get that. Not for a reason that there was a 4 run. Probably an avid fan. Now the game's carried the tempo, an upbeat player. He is sticking well. He's playing on 28 of 25 deliveries. Scored 2 boundaries. Off the back foot, wait on is the call. So will he have to? As the over ends, with 102 on board, with 3 wickets down, 5 overs remaining. We've got 63 to be scored of 5 overs. Adi Manjra to Mihir Patel. Starts off with one. Almost 12 and a half. Exceeding 12 and a half and over. Required now. It was Manjra and Sahib Malhotra who carried the assault on Patiala Shahi boys. Gave them the opportunity to score 164. Never an easy target to chase. Anything, especially at these bigger grounds. Let's flick that well. Use the pace of the bowler. Two runs for Thakur. The difference the innings will have is about the boundaries and how the sixes were hammered in last 5 overs. That's a beautiful shot flowing through covers for 1 run. It's more about big hitting. The Brampton Raiders boys did not lose their nerves, did not press on panic button when the score was low. Captain believed, the team believed. They got a bigger total. Has deceived him with the change of pace. Fuller. Yes and no. They require something. Mihir is not happy. Definitely, he's not happy, chap. He's very competitive. A good competitive player. If you're batting along with him, he knows the essence of the game. He wants to be on top of his work. Excellently bowled. Excellently bowled to contain Harsh with no run. Dot ball that ends the over. 5 runs at this stage. These are just gold dust. These balls, what the bowler is bowling, he is delivering gold dust. After 16 overs, you can see that the heavy spike what Brampton Raiders have got. All kudos to Manjra and Sahib Malhotra. Right now, they're very parallel. The orange worm is for Patiala Shahi, and the blue for Brampton Raiders, representing their jersey as well. But the difference is about, yes, the wickets were fallen in a quick succession for Brampton Raiders, but what they've managed to do is that utilize the last hour of the game for innings one to score a mammoth total. Bowlers letting the batter bat where he's placed the fielder. He's bowling according to his field.
कितने ओवरों में? हाँ?
Pushed into the covers. 3 runs of 2 balls. Good change of pace. Excellent change of pace. Could not read it. Well, when you're changing pace, it is essential to understand that the batter does not read from where you're releasing the ball. If you're rolling your fingers, it's talking to death if the batter reads you when you're bowling from your hand and slow a ball in the slot. If they reach the ball, if the batter reaches the length of the delivery, then it's definitely going to be the result the bowling team wouldn't like. Is it big enough? No. Falls in barren land. Comes back for two. Right now, everything the batters are desperately trying in all attempts to bring the total close. This is well. This is struck. I'll close my eyes. But there's a fielder. The shot could have resulted in some big bounty, but the bowler's not happy, thinking a catch could have attempted. But they are way ahead of the game. They shouldn't be concerned because right now, from the point of view what I'm looking at, the batters of Patiala Shahi, as they're struggling scoring boundaries, especially with the dismissal of Yuvraj. There's barely any boundary that has come up. Later on, scored by Harsh Thakur with six. It's the only boundary that Harsh scored. Diving effort, valiant effort from point fielder. They'll run away for four. 46 runs required in 17 deliveries. Great effort. When you understand the composition of the team, when you know that you're winning, it gets your morale high. And not to forget the fact, when the Brampton Raiders were going through the lows, it was Nadeem Manjra and the captain Sahib Malhotra stood tall. It's connected that, but we'll get only one from the fielder. Covers region, covers and extra covers are guarded by Sukesh. Forty-five required. Lesson one more with wide. 44 required. The game is still on as long as the team and the players believe. What if you're in a clinical position? Oh, that must have hurt him, especially with the cold weather at Teramoto. He is not in pleasure. Good spirits from the captain of Brampton Raiders just to check on. He's not going to settle down for one. Having a blow. It'll be interesting to see how Mihir responds to this delivery. And he's cleaned him up. Through the gate. Got the ball talking. Over aggressive. Wanted to take on. The requirement was to be taken on. But the bowler is the one who takes wicket from in form of Mihir Patel. Sends the stump on walk. Patiala Shahi in vortex. Will they be able to come out of it? And if they are, who's going to be the brethren that'll help Patiala Shahi to come out of this vortex? And that is the difference when we are seeing this is going to be the crucial turnaround point of the game. Those sixes from Sahib and Nadeem. Bhagwan Singh with yellow pads on. And he's got 2 and 2. Can you believe that? Will be a heavy walk, a golden duck, a long, long walk with discontentment in his heart for Bhagwan Singh. He departs for nothing without troubling the scoreboard. Nadeem Manjra is the star of tonight. He's got 2 wickets, he scored as well. He will definitely be giving nightmares to the boys of Patiala Shahi tonight. With 1 ball remaining, Pranjay Sharma is due to the crease. Rarely you see Harsh animated. Definitely not happy with the performance that they've put on. Everything is super smooth and buttery for Brampton Raiders right now. Not to forget the ability what Harsh has to display, but at least what the batters can do is to get the game close. We'll see how close the boys will get after this over. 121 on board after 5 wickets. 18 overs completed. Run full toss. Did not get full-fledged bat. They're not happy. Definitely the captain's not happy with the throw because the day and the outing Sukesh has had, he's been one of the prolific performers tonight, especially with the ball in hand. He's done wonder. He's set the tone. He's uplifted the spirits. You expect better from the veteran. You clearly can see the intent from Harsh. He's coming at every ball. But for the ones who are watching, still can comment saying that how important were those sixes hit by Manjra and Sahib. Says yes and just keep walking like a dead duck. Did not even have to stress appealing. Was plumb in front of the stumps. It's just the formality. What seems now that they have to perform. Just appeals from Parvesh, the keeper behind, and the bowler Iran. The umpire did not have to hesitate much. Good learning. This is going to be humbling for the ascending Patiala Shahi. And mind you, they've always come back stronger after their setbacks. Their comeback has always been superior to the setbacks they've had. But what a game Brampton Raiders are having. Played on top of the bounce. Allows to get one. Has got him very unlucky. Very unlucky. A night of horror to forget for Thakur as a captain. He's chopped onto the middle stump. A long walk for a man who's very competent, full of caliber, who's full of potential, will go disheartened to dugout. All smiles on the other dugout. They know they are just inches away, getting closer to the victory, Brampton Raiders. Gavin is the new batter. That ends the over with 125 on board. Still 40 runs behind. With 6 balls to spare. To the fielder, does bowler and the fielder in play with the batter trying to defend. Skied that. Is it big enough? And seems so. We'll have to wait for the umpire to signal. 4 runs. A very close call from the umpire. Spotted on. Got it as 4 runs. But Patiala Shahi boys will take it happily. Yeah. One bounce in 4. Tries to do something whimsical, but gets nothing but wicket gifting for Brampton Raiders, making it more sweeter for Nadeem Manjra. Not to forget, Manjra is having a night. 8 down, 4 deliveries remaining. 129 on board, 36 required. Far from over. 1 run and formalities remaining to conclude. 3 balls to go. That's very quick from Manjra. The batter could not pick it up. And a very precise sense, the turnaround event are those 5 overs. And got him. The bowler is just toying around with the batters. And that's it. The victory belongs to Brampton Raiders. They've redeemed themselves, humbled the ascending Patiala Shahi. They'll have to rethink upon a game to reflect, and definitely they'll go back to the whiteboard and come back stronger. But what a game for Brampton Raiders. At one point, 120 looked difficult, thanks to the captain who's taken up the responsibility, and the commander, the general in charge, Nadeem Manjra, who's put the performance up front, has risen to the occasion, who scored some big sixes, collected 3 wickets for 16 runs, 3 overs to complete with 2 balls going. What a night, an outstanding performance. Brampton Raiders will be happy with a thumping victory over Patiala Shahi. A good response, 1-1 equalizing victory for both the teams. 1 bout for Patiala Shahi, 1 bout for Brampton Raiders. This is it, and we'll join you for the next game soon. Stay tuned.